I'm just lost. I'm following everything, but it's like, wait a minute, what? How is he still alive and yet? So does that mean it's, oh Lord. This is my review for How to Get Away with Murder, Season 3, Episode 7. Call it Mother's Intuition. The episode starts off with Annalise being in jail, and they're telling her, Annalise, guess what? We have something on you that we never had before. Real evidence. Someone who's willing to testify, and someone who has proof. So you better go and figure out what you want to do fast, because someone snitched on you. Someone snitched on you. I'm thinking, Lord, I know who it is, but God's willing. It's not who I know it is. Anyway, I was proven right, unfortunately. So Wes goes to the police station on his own and decides he wants to tell them, you know, Mahoney, of course, the fact that he talked with Mahoney and, well, he was trying to talk with Mahoney, but he also saw what appeared to be Mahoney's son. I guess you could say he kind of recognized him, or, well, he didn't know who he was, but because, again, he's not supposed to know who Mahoney is, but he did notice someone in a doorway that looked like Mahoney's son, and originally he was going to go and ask him for directions, but he looked very upset, so then he needed to go and talk to this other guy, and this other guy just happened to get shot. Now Wes goes and tells Annalise, I had to go and do something because it was either me go and say something or us look even more guilty. Annalise is like, I'm supposed to be here to help you out. Why do you keep spouting off at the mouth? Now, the court case that was given even in this episode was just off. And the fact that it actually ended relatively early, to me, meant that, okay, this was a BS court case. I'm just calling it as it is. This court case has to do with their, Annalise and her crew are defending three people. Three people being the daughter and sons of the kids of this woman. This woman has a nasty attitude, and her kids are all dysfunctional because of it. One of her kids is a perpetual virgin. The other one can't get a date to keep a man to save her life because of the fact that her mom just kills her confidence. And then there's this other one who seems relatively well-adjusted enough, but he's just cynical at the world. And Annalise is trying to figure out, okay, they are being convicted of putting antifreeze in their mother's drink and poisoning her. And we have to figure out the case as to how can we get these guys off. That's not going to go too well because when you actually speak to them, you realize they're all dysfunctional. And the mom had nicknames for you, nicknames for them. One was called Jerky because she liked to jerk off a lot. The other one was called Kahunas because of her boobs. The other one, I forgot what his nickname was. It was irrelevant, but he was the more snarky one of the group. And they're trying to build a case. And Annalise is saying, whoever figures it out gets an A. Because that's how hard this case is going to be. She already knows that this case is going to be difficult. Simon, again, is rubbing people the wrong way. And they're just looking at him like, we're not going to help you out. We still remember what you did. We can't actually trust you. And Annalise is saying, these guys have mommy issues. Go and figure it out. Now, they go off to class. While they're there, Wes and Laurel sneak off and have sex because now they're an item. Now they're a couple. That whole scene was weird. The best thing about that scene was Frank was there. Frank is back in town, as we know, and he was right, oh my god, he was right outside. He was right outside the, oh Lord Jesus. Laurel, you better run, because Frank is not playing around. And I don't like this whole relationship between Laurel and Wes. It just makes no sense. There's definitely no chemistry. I don't feel it. I don't believe it. Annalise is over it because she's like, oh, this case is trash. You know, Wes is doing too much. Frank, oh, forget about Frank. And Annalise is eating instead of drinking. Because of that, Annalise is just, she's over it. She just wants to drink so bad. Life is really stressful, so now she's stress eating. Bonnie is trying to deflect the fact that she slept with Frank, because Annalise is just like, so what did you actually do with Frank? Bonnie said, went there and I defended you. And that's why Frank and I aren't in speaking terms. I defended you. I reprimanded him. He doesn't think that he's worthy. I agree. It is what it is. Are you going to accept him? No. All right. We need to go to your AA meetings because you haven't gone, you've only gone once this week. It's almost 6. Get out of here. Annalise goes, and now the principal, you know, the principal at her school, at the college, is, well, the president, I believe. She's telling the story how she was a dysfunctional alcoholic, an alcoholic mother, as she phrases it, because one day she was tired. You know, she got a little lit. She was driving. She pulled over to the side of the road. Her kids were in the car. She passed out, and her son wandered into the road because he was trying to flag someone down to go and help his mommy and sister. That's how bad it was. The next day, her husband went and filed for divorce, custody, you name it, everything. He wanted it all. And of course, she blames herself. She knows what she did was wrong. It's been a year of her being sober, but she understands her kids hate her. Her kids are disgusted with the fact that it's like mommy and daddy aren't together and it's mommy's fault. But she feels bad because she's like, regardless of them hating me or feeling how they feel, I just want to shake them. It's like, mommy loves you. I'm not a bad person. I made horrible decisions. I made a terrible mistake. I'm sorry. I am human. Please forgive me. Please. And it struck a chord with Annalise because Annalise, this is speaking to her spirit. Right now, she's dealing with the same BS with the little Heathen 5. Just trying to always protect them. And by doing so, it's just making things worse. And she doesn't know what to do. Wow. Oliver, you know, him and his little boyfriend keeps texting him. It's going well. And apparently, I guess since now they're officially a couple, Asher and Michaela are going, it's just like, oh, you like him. Oh, you like him. I'm looking at them like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All of a sudden, you guys are going to start acting like each other. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I'm looking at poor Connor. He's in the background like, what BS is going on over there? Annalise is flirting with the guy who holds the AA meetings. And this guy, well, I don't think he necessarily holds AA meetings. I do know that, well, maybe he does. The principal, you know, the president tells him, nope, that guy is a 13th offender. It's like, what? Yeah, he perpetually goes and tries to sleep with the new recruits, the new attendees. So please steer clear. She's saying, no, don't worry about that. Annalise gives her props because she's lets her know, I can't be that forthcoming with strangers. So the president lets her know, it is what it is. I'm ashamed of what I did. The least I could do is vent my frustrations and my inadequacies. Annalise, again, it's just like, I respect that because I can't do that. It's like, if you need help, I know a family lawyer. It's like, no, don't worry about it. I don't need any of that. But say, you know, for you, it would be good for you to go and to just say how you feel and what's going on in your life. Annalise, like, the reason why this is going on, the reason why I'm even here is because of you. So I'm going to go and eat that stale food. You're going to go and vent your frustrations. It is what it is. That's how it's going to be. Oliver, again, because now he's hacking for pay for Annalise and for all the students, they have different tasks. It's like, can you go and find this information? Can you go and find that information? Connor's trying to go and see if he can work his magic. That magic isn't working because Oliver is suspended with another. Because of that, he doesn't want anything to do with you, which is pretty messed up because just previous episode, it almost seemed like, oh, Oliver's so needy. Oliver's so needy. That's what it is. Oliver's so needy. And Connor wants someone who is needy. It is a weird dynamic, a very weird dynamic. And there's this email exchange that I guess for the time being, Asher is going to be the golden boy because Asher finds the email exchange. The email exchange lets Annalise know that they all joked around about killing the mom. And the sister said, no. It's not what you think. It was actually someone else who I knew. They were playing the joke on me and I was just going along with it. Of course, I would never go and kill him. This is someone that's on her mom's payroll. And it's just like, wait a minute. You joked around about that? Yeah, but I didn't mean it. And then her brothers tried to flip on her. Her brothers, because at first I was thinking, uh-oh, did they do it? And they're trying to go and frame it on their sister. But no, they're just trying to flip because they're like, no, she did this. It's her fault. Leave us out of it. At least let it be known. Your mother is suing all of you. This is a joint case. Which means if one of you is found guilty at the station, down in the courthouse, and he runs into Nate. Nate's like, oh, wait, dude, how have you been? It's like, good, I have to go. It's like, no, but what about your court case? I know some people from New York came in to see what's going on with you. I was like, oh, what do you know about that? I just know that they're looking into you. And he said, well, no, Eve has it covered. And it's like, oh, Annalise told you that? Yeah, Eve doesn't have it covered. Eve hasn't been around for weeks, so I don't know what she's been telling you. That is bullfied lie. I'm thinking, Lord Jesus, Nate, Wes is the last person that needs to be told the truth. I'm just telling you like it is. Wes is the last person that needs to be told the truth. Because Wes is the type of person that... he gets on my damn nerves. Him and Laurel. Most of them do. Most of the Key and 5 could go, honestly. Most of them could go. No, they annoy me, but I'm going to miss them. So, no, they can stay. Now, during this, private deposition... the mother is grilling her kids. The mother's grilling her kids on the fact that her kids have no love life, that they're tragic, and they're recounting the stories of, oh, well, you called me jerky, and there was a girl that I like. The mother said, you were 13 years old, and you put your hand up my dress, even though you were old enough to know better. And how am I not going to say anything when that girl was never going to go out with you? With you being so awkward and so sexually confused, that was never going to happen. You're going to stay a virgin forever. It is what it is. This is an overbearing mother that has issues of her own, and so she deflects and puts it towards her kids. Now, the most awkward kid of them all, the one that's nicknamed Jerky, he's just like, I hate you, and I didn't do it, but I got to understand why someone did, and I won't be mad if it happened anyway. And Annalise was like, shut up! It's like, I just want to be a good lawyer, and I just can't. So, this is when Annalise tells everyone, alright, you know what I said before? You're all going to fail unless you find me some... Well, no, she didn't do that this time. This time around, she played the card of, you guys need to figure something out because this case is going down fast. I don't have time for this. I have other things to focus on. Asher's worried about his A status, which now is revoked. Wes and Laurel, again, had sex again. And I'm thinking, okay, we get it. Frank has to come back into the picture relatively soon and have sex with Laurel, like, within the next day or two for him to be in the running of her baby daddy right now. And we find out that Wes was always interested in Laurel, which we kind of knew. We thought it was an odd pairing, so that's why nothing happened. But Laurel's just saying, I kind of feel bad about, the whole Maggie thing. Wes is like, why? I didn't really care about her. She was cool, but she was too normal. You were the one I really wanted. I'm thinking, Laurel, if Frank comes back tomorrow, you know what it is. You know what it is. So stop it. Stop the madness. Stop the foolishness. Connor calls Wes and lets Wes know that the Mahoney, your so-called half-brother, he has an alibi. So you're kind of screwed. So whatever Annalise thought she was doing to protect you wasn't working. Everyone goes to her house and Wes is talking to Annalise like, what's going on? Like, what are we going to do now? Because I thought you had it covered. Apparently you didn't. Annalise understands the error of her ways, and she's just used to just yelling at these kids. But these kids are so frustrated that she knows the only way to rebuild trust and to try and make sure that they don't try to go to police or try to kill her is get your frustrations out. Everyone's all hostile, but they're not really telling their truths or getting everything off of their chest or anything off of their chest. So she says, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to be quiet, and you're going to go and tell me what you want to tell me. Say whatever it is you need to say. Now, of course, the King 5 minus Wes have everything to say. Starts off with Michaela. Michaela's upset because she felt like Annalise tricked her and basically tricked her into Caleb's arms, the arms of a killer, and she knew that she was reeling and rebounding from her ex who was cheating on her with a guy. It was just a lot. And it's just like, I wanted to be like you, and I thought that you were the bee's knees, but I realized you're nothing better than anyone else. Laurel's just like, you constantly manipulate me. I do whatever you want. I'm just your puppet. Connor, Asher, it's just like, you're so mean. I thought my father was controlling and manipulative and evil, but no, it's you. You take it to a whole nother level, and we can't trust you. Connor just talks about how, no, my life was good before you. I'm thinking, wait, what? Connor, you were a mess before. You were, we just didn't know you. That's the only difference. You were a mess before, you're a mess after. You just have more baggage. Just like with Michaela. Same thing. You have more baggage. It's not my fault you went and slept with him. It's not my fault you open your legs. It's not my fault you rebound. It's not my fault you always go with the wrong guy. That's what Annalise started to say, and then she finally stopped and let them all vent. And after they were done crying and sobbing, because they got on my nerves after a while, I was like, Annalise, you good. Ooh, and you can't drink. Damn, Annalise, you're a strong woman. You are a strong black woman. Truly. And again, when she asked Wes, you know, I can take it, Wes. Just go for it. I feel like that will have taken her over the edge. Wes is like, you know how I feel about you. I'm thinking, Lord Jesus. That is the scariest answer I've ever heard from anyone this episode. Because you know Wes is tick boom. Now everyone leaves. Annalise goes, Lord, Annalise, she's good for that one, because I don't know. I know I could have handled it, but I wouldn't have wanted to. Oliver is with his yoga guy, and Oliver is in the bathroom. He's just like, oh Lord, this is gonna happen. The guy takes off his clothes, ready to go, and that's when Oliver's like, oh, I'm positive. He's like, wait, what? Yeah. You know, I'm positive, but actually, with everything that I'm taking, it's actually safer to have sex with me than someone who says they're negative and they haven't had any tests or any medication at all. And you know, the guy was just like, you know, you're really cool, but this is just a lot to handle. I don't really know. It's like, no, I really like you, but this is just a lot right now. And Oliver knew at that point exactly his worst fear came to pass, that he would have issues with people accepting him for who he is, even though he just had someone who accepted him for who he is off the bat. Oliver, go somewhere, because I don't feel bad. Annalise needs to eat again because she's still not allowed to drink because she gets random drug tests, so she has to pretend to be good and eat 2 shoes. And she's so desperate that she actually asks Bonnie, you know what, Bonnie, can you help me out? Bonnie, let's work on this together. Bonnie's like, really? Really? Okay. Well, maybe we can go and do this. Maybe we can go and do that. You know, throw mercy at the court. Use this this recording and say that the jury's going to be biased because it's going to be one of those situations where they already have a perceived perception of this old elderly woman, nice elderly woman who was attacked by her kids. Annalise is hearing the tape in the background. She realizes, nope, we're not going to go that route. She calls Laurel because she needs Laurel to be the puppet again. And Laurel's over it, but you know Laurel's going to do it anyway. She's like, you're going to go on the stand. You already got the A. Don't worry about it. This is what I need for you to do. I need for you to do it, because Laurel, you can get away with acting a plumb fool, but me, if I do it, they're going to go and throw the book at me. So that's why, if you guys are wondering why she chose Laurel, one, she knows that she can tell Laurel to do something and Laurel will follow it to a T, to a degree, even if she wavers a little bit. At the end of the day, she's infatuated with Annalise too, so just like with the rest of them, like, Lord Jesus. Now it's time for them to play the card of the mom did it. You know, the mom wanted to teach her kids a lesson. And Annalise understands that. So she gets Laurel to go and, you know, bait the mom. She gets Laurel to go and say, you know, you say this about your son, you say this about your daughter, but speaking of your daughter, did you even know that your daughter was actually dating the gardener? It's like, no, she wasn't. It was just a little random thing. And she's like, no, but they were really going out for a while. But it's interesting because how would you know that they were going out? Unless the phone, because the whole thing is, so with their phones being locked up and you having the key to it, you can go in there and doing your normal snooping, you find out, oh my gosh, your kids are joking about killing you. So you're thinking, why don't I go and just teach him a lesson and do it? And you did because you felt like you were being taken for granted, that your kids were no good, and you wanted to teach them a lesson. This lesson was going a little too far, and so let's stop this now before things get out of hand. And the mom admits, that, yeah, she wanted to teach her kids a lesson, that she was being taken for granted by them. I'm thinking, you weren't a nice person, so that was part of the issue. And no, it's not right for them to joke about her dying or them killing her. That's messed up any way you slice it. That's messed up, period. I mean, there's people whose moms do, or parents do way worse to them, and they never even think of doing something like that. So that speaks volumes on them and their character and their morals. But then again, if she was the one teaching, it's just a cycle. It's a cycle, and it's a mess. Now, of course, with Laurel, you know, acing that case and just playing the part, she gets the A, everyone else has to study. While everyone else is trying to study, Connor realizes, she's just like, why don't I go and work with Oliver? Oliver is telling him, you know, I'm cool, I'm fine. Because Connor realizes something's wrong with Oliver. And Oliver's just like, no, I'm good. Thank you. No, I'm good. I'm like, oh, poor Oliver. Poor Oliver. Connor, don't get caught up in that. Connor, walk away. Walk away. Say it's fine. Walk away. Annalise, she decides that she wants to go and be a good person. This is her way of being a good person. She sees the principal. I keep calling her the principal, the president, and she's like, give me your phone. It's like, wait, what? Why? It's like, that lawyer, I want to give you that lawyer's number. The principal said, no, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm actually trying to work it out with my ex. She said, yeah, that's cute for now, but what happens when your ex decides that he doesn't want to work it out? She took out that phone so fast, like, excuse me, here you go, girl. Here you go. I see where you're coming from. She's like, thank you. Like, don't mention it. I realized something today, and I understand. I don't understand this to be in your situation, but I do understand in general. Annalise comes to and Annalise was wearing this pink jacket. I was like, look at Annalise in the soft color. Oh, they're trying to show Annalise in the softer light. That's cute. We'll see how long that lasts. Annalise gets home, and guess who's on the porch? Frank. No, I'm kidding. It's Wes. Wes is there because he needs, well, he never tells Annalise that Nate told him about the whole Eve thing, but he did go and say that he met up with Nate, and she was like, wait, and what happened? Oh, nothing happened. He just, you know, warned me about the police and wanted to see what's going on there. And Annalise was like, you never said how you felt about me. It's like, don't worry about that. I know it's all my fault. I know I'm the reason for all of this. Annalise said, stop it. Stop it. It wasn't your fault. You were brought up in a very messed up situation, and your mother would not want you to go. She sacrificed so that you could go and potentially have a good life, have some good opportunities, and also that sacrifice inadvertently helped me as well. So we're not going to play this game. I'm going to go and try to be a better person and look at the positive in every situation. That's what's gotten me out of all of this. And I need for you to do the same, because doing anything else would be a true disgrace in her name. I was like, oh, look at that. Oliver gets invited over to Connor's place. Well, technically Michaela's place. And, you know, that's when Oliver lets it be known, this whole relationship thing, that didn't work out with the other guy. And he's like, I'm sorry, but I still feel something for you. Connor says, I feel the same way. He's like, but it's wrong because I broke up with you. Connor said, I don't care. Oliver's like, oh, all right. So let's get down to it. I'm thinking, Lord, jeez. Oh, and they start making out, and then they go and have sex on Michaela's bed, even though we know Michaela is meticulous, so she's going to notice that something's out of place. I'm thinking, wait, but what about the stains and smells? Like, what about that? What about when she pulls the sheet? Like, did you just slip everything over? Like, what happened? Frank showed up at Bonnie's place, and Frank's trying to grovel. He's trying to grovel. He's trying to beg. Bonnie lets it be known, Annalise does not forgive you, and neither do I. How dare you go and abandon me? How dare you go and leave me? Now, as you know, Bonnie has major abandonment issues and just issues with men. So the fact that this man, who she finally opened herself up to, I guess, for the first time, when he did this to her, he was like, no, I just had to figure things out for myself. Remember, because he went over to Laurel's, where Laurel's with Wes right now. So Frank couldn't go there. Next place is Bonnie. Because she called. He was like, oh, so did you go over to Laurel's? I was like, no, it's not like that. I wanted to see you. She said, screw off. Because I'm not gonna go and be swept up in this whole cat and mouse game. You're not gonna go and do this to me. How dare you? And she kicked him out. But trust and believe, Frank looked like he wanted to put them hands on her like, I love you and I'm crazy enough to do that whole, if I can't live with you, we not living. We not living. He had that look. She had a look like, woo! Frank, get out. It was like, get out. Go. You know, I can't make you do it. Just go. The door's right there. So he leaves after groveling and crying. I was like, oh, take him back. Take him back. Poor Frank. Come on. You know Frank's mentally messed up. So are you. It's okay. Asher and Michaela, you know, they're making out and they go into the apartment. Oliver and Connor already have done the deed, so they're on the couch. Had this look of, yeah, we didn't do anything. So like, oh, you guys are friends again? Yeah. Asher is so happy about that. He jumps in between. He's like, oh my God, I have my buddies again. He's kissing them and all up on them. Michaela's like, hello? Hello? I don't care if they're there. They can hear anything. Let's go in the bedroom. It's like, oh, duty calls. She's like, what happened to my frog? Whatever it was called. Connor! Now, Wes and Laurel were speaking, and they were saying goodnight to each other. And Laurel slips up and says, love you. Oh, what? Love you? It's been a week. What was it? It's been 5 days. What's wrong with this girl? See, that's why this girl gets on everyone's nerves. And Frank's just like, oh, really? Love you that quickly? Is some sex and some attention all it really takes with you? Laura wakes up in the hospital room and she's bugging out because she has a tube in her throat, and she's used to nothing being in her throat without her consent. No, let me stop. Maggie's there to try and calm her down, but Laura's still freaking out because Laura's like, I have to give you a message. And the message said to Wes. And she's like, wait a minute, Wes? Did something happen to Wes? Like, I'll go and contact him, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'm thinking, oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, was Wes in the house? No, it doesn't feel like that. There's still like 2 minutes. What's going on? Next thing we know, we see Wes in the police, in a holding room. Why? Because Wes is the one who snitched on Annalise. And he's the one, he wants immunity. He wants immunity, full immunity. And in return, he'll go and spill the beans on everything. I'm thinking, this smells like an Annalise Keating setup if I don't know. Come on, you know Wes is the ultimate go-to for one of these. It's like, you need me to do something? Okay, let's go for it. Because Annalise told them to meet at her house before the whole fire thing started. I don't think Connor made it. But Laurel, I don't know if the whole point was for Laurel probably didn't know that she was pregnant. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Laurel purposely stayed in the house to create an alibi. I'm not sure. Either she was caught up in there. Maybe Frank was in there, so that's why she was in there. At this point, it can only be Frank, Nate, or, what is it? Frank, Nate, or Connor. Damn, if it's Connor, that's pretty messed up. I don't want him to die. He annoys me, but I don't want him to die. Frank, I don't want him to die either. Nate, I don't want him to die either. It's like, damn, you really couldn't take Wes? Like, I didn't necessarily want him to die. And I know he couldn't die, and I'm glad he's alive, but he just annoys me so much that sometimes I just want to be like, take his butt instead. But that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I don't know. Because this whole thing of Wes going and snitching, I feel like after everything that's happened, for him to go and do that now, it's really random. So this smells like a setup. This smells like an Annalise Keating setup. And Wes is a participant.